Welcome to our deep dive into the whirlwind of environmental changes driven by the Trump administration. In this video, we'll explore how the former president's sweeping policies led to the scrapping of 70 green initiatives in a single stroke, impacting everything from the Paris Climate Agreement to the future of renewable energy projects. Join us as we examine the implications of these drastic shifts, including the declaration of a national energy emergency and the lifting of bans on offshore drilling. Let's unravel the consequences of this bold climate blitzkrieg. 1. Withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement. One of the most contentious decisions made by Trump was the announcement of the United States' withdrawal from the Paris Climate Accord. This agreement, signed by nearly every country, aimed to mitigate global warming by reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Trump's decision marked a stark departure from international climate cooperation, as he argued that the accord unfairly disadvantaged American businesses. Critics feared that this withdrawal signaled a retreat from global leadership on climate change and potentially hindered international efforts to combat rising global temperatures. The move was seen as a significant blow to the global fight against climate change, leaving environmentalists and world leaders scrambling to fill the void left by the U.S. 2. Declaration of a national energy emergency. Trump's declaration of a national energy emergency was another pivotal moment in his climate policy shift. This declaration aimed to expedite the development of fossil fuel infrastructure, particularly in the oil and gas sectors. By invoking this emergency, Trump sought to remove regulatory barriers and promote energy independence. Supporters hailed this move as a boost for the economy and job creation, while opponents criticized it for prioritizing short-term economic gains over long-term environmental sustainability. This declaration underscored the administration's commitment to fossil fuels, often at the expense of renewable energy sources. 3. Lifting offshore drilling bans. The Trump administration took bold steps to expand oil and gas exploration by lifting bans on offshore drilling. This action opened up vast stretches of federal waters to increased drilling activities, raising concerns about potential environmental hazards. Proponents argued that it would enhance energy security and reduce dependence on foreign oil, but environmentalists warned of the risks posed to marine ecosystems and coastal communities. The decision to lift these bans was emblematic of Trump's broader strategy to prioritize energy development over environmental preservation. 4. Halting wind energy projects. In a move that surprised many, Trump ceased federal leasing for wind farms, effectively halting new wind energy projects on federal lands. This action was in line with the administration's broader skepticism towards renewable energy sources, which Trump often criticized for their perceived inefficiency and aesthetic impact. The halt on wind energy projects was seen as a setback for the burgeoning renewable energy sector, which had been gaining momentum as a viable alternative to fossil fuels. Critics argued that this decision undermined efforts to diversify the nation's energy portfolio and reduce carbon emissions. 5. Rescinding electric vehicle mandates. The Trump administration also moved to dismantle policies that favored electric vehicles, EVs, including subsidies and mandates. This decision aimed to promote traditional fuel vehicles, aligning with the administration's support for the oil and gas industries. By rescinding EV mandates, the administration sought to level the playing field for automakers and consumers, but it also drew criticism for potentially stifling innovation in the automotive industry. Environmental advocates warned that this rollback could slow the transition to cleaner transportation options and increase emissions from the transportation sector. 6. Reversing the Clean Power Plan. Another significant policy reversal was the rescinding of the Clean Power Plan, which had set strict emission standards for power plants to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. This plan was a cornerstone of the Obama administration's climate strategy, and its reversal signaled a shift towards less stringent environmental regulations. Proponents of the rollback argued that it would alleviate regulatory burdens on the energy sector and prevent increases in energy costs. However, opponents contended that it would undermine efforts to combat climate change and protect public health by allowing higher emissions from power plants. 7. Eliminating federal climate offices. In a move to reduce the federal government's focus on environmental issues, the Trump administration dismantled several federal offices dedicated to addressing climate change. This included eliminating or downsizing agencies and programs tasked with monitoring and mitigating climate impacts. Proponents of this action argued that it streamlined government operations and reduced unnecessary spending. However, critics warned that it weakened the nation's capacity to address the challenges posed by climate change, as these offices played crucial roles in research, policy development, and international collaboration. 8. Freezing LNG terminal permits. Lastly, the Trump administration froze new permits for liquefied natural gas, LNG, terminals, impacting the expansion of LNG infrastructure. While LNG is often touted as a cleaner alternative to coal and oil, the freeze on permits was seen as a move to prioritize other fossil fuel sources. This decision drew mixed reactions, with some industry stakeholders expressing concern over potential delays in LNG projects and others viewing it as a strategic pivot towards domestic energy production. The freeze highlighted the complexities of balancing energy development with environmental considerations in a rapidly evolving energy landscape.